Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist, and we have a great show here today. We had a good first segment talking about what's going on and why people are looking to get educated and how the things that are happening in the markets are impacting people's decisions to really do nothing. That's why it's so important to get educated, the right education, to make smart investing decisions and be able to make proactive decisions, not reactive decisions in the financial markets, whether it's 401ks, IRAs, or regular trading accounts. If you did miss tickets to that investing class that we have at our local academies, it's a hands-on, in-person class to learn about the financial markets. So if you're brand new to the markets, this is the class for you. If you've been in the markets for many years and trading and just looking to hopefully get a boost, that might be that class for you as well. You can text the word investing to the number 210-210, and this is for 2 tickets. Most people like to bring their spouse or significant other. We see a lot of families that come to these classes too. So text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now for those tickets and that financial quick start kit. So if you're new, that'll actually help you get started right away. So Al, in that last segment, we were talking about why it's so important for people to get educated in the financial markets and do that now because heck, we have a lot of talk about a recession. Those that remember 2000 or 2008,
right,
there was a lot of bad things that happened to really good people financially.
A lot of pain during that time period.
A lot of pain. And if you haven't experienced that, maybe talk to somebody who did. And one of the things that they probably say is they say, I wish I would have prepared for that. And that's what I want to talk about in this segment here is we have a lot of talk about recession. You see it all over in the news. And a lot of times it's one of those things, if they talk about it enough, it might come fruition to it, right? It might happen. So why should people prepare in advance? And what do you think some of the things that they can do to prepare if we do see a recession? I mean, maybe it's even started. Who knows?
A lot of people feel we're already in a recession. A lot of people feel that we can't avoid a recession, a global recession. There are some people that say we won't go into a recession. So again, it gets down to opinions, and what we want to do is try to get the following of opinions out of your trading environment. Being prepared. You mentioned being prepared. Well, you can't react after the fact and hope that things change that have already happened. You can always trade in the future. You can trade forward. You can trade now, but you can't trade backwards. But what does being prepared mean? It means being ready for a range of different things in the future. It's not about predicting what's going to happen in the future. It's just being ready for different potential outcomes. And that's one of the great things about the way OTA, Online Trading Academy, teaches is that we have instructors that teach all of the different asset classes that are basically full-time traders that have their finger on the pulse of what's going on in the economy and know how to react to it. Most people do what we call following the herd. It's human nature to not be the first one to do something, but follow somebody else or a group of other people when they've already done it. Well, who are you following? You're following other uneducated, uninformed, unsuccessful people, and it's
stop there a second. I think that's a great point. People ask their family or their coworkers or their boss, but they're also uneducated.
That's
what a lot of people do, and it's unfortunate. That's a great point.
Yeah, well, think about it. Think back to when you were in high school. How many classes did you have on investing and finances? Zero. College, probably zero. You might have had some economic classes, maybe some finance, but
which doesn't help you with the market either.
It doesn't help you with the market. And most people, if you have any kind of exposure to some sort of education, it's teaching you to do things that, to be honest with you, we think are almost totally unnecessary. Most of you are taught to look at fundamentals. Don't buy a company until you really look at their books, look at their balance sheet, the fundamentals. The fundamentals might tell you whether it's a good company or not, but they do not give you an indication of when to buy or sell, and that's the most important thing. You can have the greatest company in the world with the greatest product, but if nobody is buying the stock, it is not going to move. So it's identifying who moves price. Why does price move? It moves because more buyers, if the price is moving up, more buyers are buying that particular asset than there are sellers available. And it comes down, it stops going up and comes down when there are more sellers available than there are buyers for that asset. So wouldn't it be important to identify when the buyers and when the sellers are going to be active in the market so you can just follow them? And by buyers and sellers, I'm not talking about Josh and me pooling our money and buying shares of something. That we could not move if you look at a candlestick chart or a chart of the market, our activity isn't going to move anything. But Goldman Sachs can, Warren Buffett can. They're buying sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars worth or billions. It's not unusual for Warren Buffett to put 10, 20, 30, 60, maybe $100 billion into one position. That's enough to move the market. Wouldn't you like to know when he's going to be active? Well, I'll tell you when he'll tell you when he's active, but he'll tell you after he has taken a full position. Then what he's counting on is the public going, oh, Warren Buffett bought that, I'm going to buy the same thing. They start providing a profit for Warren. But what Warren did to get his full position is he had to do it incrementally. And our strategy shows you how to take advantage of that incremental activity. What you're doing is you're identifying unfilled orders for people like Warren Buffett or Goldman Sachs before they actually become active. That's how you participate. That's how you really benefit your trading, because it helps you to be positioned at the beginning of a trend. Most people that know anything about investing will tell you that the trend is your friend. Trend being when something starts moving a certain direction and when it ends. There has to be enough of a distance between the 2 points to provide a profit for you. But to be able to really benefit, you need to get in as close to the beginning of a trend as possible and out as close to the end of a trend as possible.
Yep.
How do you identify a trend? You have to be able to identify where the buyers and sellers are. That we have a core strategy put together by people that were actually moving the market. They understand how that works, and they fine-tune this strategy so you can use it to basically do what the winners are doing.
Yeah, I like when that's probably the first maybe quarter of the class that you teach here at Online Trading Academy.
Right.
Is how that actually works and functions. And that's a great example of Buffett. When he's buying and selling something, he's buying it, and then he doesn't tell the public until he may want to sell it. So it's a net sum zero game.
Yeah, all the big firms do the same thing.
Exactly,
by the way.
Yeah. Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, all those companies do it. Not to say they're bad companies, just they're smart. They know how to manipulate the public, like what you were talking about earlier. So that's why it's so key to be able to identify when or where they are with a high degree of accuracy, but then put odds and probabilities in your favor. And that's what you talk about a lot in these investing classes that you teach here at the Academy. I teach these as well. And these are 2-hour classes. And these are classes where we've taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies, and these are designed to teach you to make smarter investing decisions. So text right now, text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 free tickets for this investing class to be introduced to see how that market actually functions and where the buyers and sellers lie on a price chart. Text the word investing to the number 210 for those tickets right now. So, Al, you were talking about core strategy, and what you're referring to is actually an economic law of supply
Correct.
and demand. So it's our core strategy here at Online Trading Academy, as Al was talking about, is designed to identify where these big money, these big players are buying and selling, because they move the market. It takes millions and billions of dollars to actually move the market. That's why us as retail investors and traders, we want to trade like them, essentially jump on their coattails and ride along with them. Think about riding the wave. You're on a surfboard. Is it easier to go with the wave, or is it easier to paddle into the wave? It's easier to go with the wave and ride it. Mm-hmm. That's what we want to do on a price chart. So just kind of visualize what that actually looks like on an ocean. You know, a surfer on the ocean, one person surfing, having a great time, and the other person struggling to try to get over that wave or through that wake. So that's what we identify with core strategy. So I want you to talk about that a little bit more, kind of how that's designed. First off, what it really looks like, the meaning of supply and demand. If you have any examples, try to think of that. But also, how do we, you've helped a lot of people get to that point to understand that. What do you think the easiest way to learn that is as well?
Well, getting the proper education from somebody that understands how the market functions, what moves price, which I kind of concentrated on in that first session, that's what provides a profit is the movement of price. So knowing who does that, why it happens, that's the most important thing, and being prepared. Yes, the supply and demand relationship, that's really what we concentrate on, and that is a law, a financial law, economic law that really can't be disputed. When there's more demand for something, price goes up and more supply goes down. Here's an example. In real estate, for example, if there is one house for sale in a neighborhood and 20 people want to move into that neighborhood real bad, what can the person that owns that one house do with the price? They can keep raising the price until there's only one of those 20 people willing to pay that high price. But the person that has the one house is in control. That and the people that are buying now, there's less supply, there's more buyers, so price is going to go up. And the opposite is true now. If there's 20 people in a neighborhood that want to get out of that neighborhood real bad, and only one person that wants to move in, those 20 people, those 20 sellers are now competing for that one person. There's more supply. They have to lower their price. The same thing is true in the financial markets. It's buyers and sellers. There's a finite number of shares of anything, of stock that can be bought or sold, and that supply and demand relationship is very instrumental in the movement of price. It's what we're really looking for is an imbalance between supply and demand. In other words, an imbalance between buyers and sellers. More buyers will drive the price up, more sellers will drive the price back down. And the institutions, why are the institutions so successful? Well, part of it is, as we were talking about before, they have enough money to move the price of something. They have enough money to do that, and also they can do it in a way that allows them to kind of manipulate the price to where they want it to go, and the public kind of really gets sucked into taking a position based on what they think is happening. We don't want you to, no offense to anyone, we don't want you to think about things. We want you just to follow a set of rules. That's what's going to give you an edge, a set of rules that you follow, a step-by-step process that uses rules that are applicable to what is moving the price of something in the market, identifying a quality position, which is the lowest risk position that we can find, with the highest profit potential and the highest probability of succeeding. It's basically just using what the institutions are feeding to us on a price chart.
Yeah, that's so crucial in trading and investing is to be able to identify where they're buying and selling. And we have tickets to this free investing class that we have, but we also have paid classes here as well. I mean, everybody kind of knows that when you're in an academy, there's also paid classes. Sure. And last week we gave away tickets it was a special giveaway to a 3-day course. Here at the Academy. It's a deep dive into the financial markets. It's actually a full deep dive into the core strategy, like what you're talking about, as far as supply and demand and who's moving the markets. So I wanted to extend that giveaway here on this show here this week as well. So normally this class is $199. It's $200 normally. I'm actually going to give it away for our radio listeners for just $99. So people that want to attend this 3-day course, it's a special 3-day course. It's a deep dive into our core strategy, showing examples of how that core strategy works and identifying where that big money could be sitting, basically moving the markets. So you can call right now for this $99 class. It's normally $200. You can call right now. Call 888-682-6466 for this special 3-day class. It's typically $200. We're doing it for $99 just for our radio listeners. To identify what those entry points might look like, what those exit points might look like, and that step-by-step strategy, which is the core strategy, which is designed to teach you to make smarter investing decisions. So call right now. Call 888-682-6466 and mention that you want the special 3-day class for only $99. Al, coming up next, I want to continue discussing this core strategy and how we make smart investing decisions in the market, but how we do that for income strategies, but also for 401k, IRA, which would be wealth strategies, your retirement accounts. Let's talk about that coming up next. Call for that 3-day class, 888-682-6466, and this is for 2 people to come to this 3-day course. It's normally $200. We're doing it for $99. We'll be right back.